Greetings, class. In part 3 and final short lectures about inventory records. If you look at determining type of inventory and the value of inventories, you first look at non-depreciable assets. Non-depreciable assets are those that are kept for usually over a year and are not valued at $100 or more. That's a cutoff point, and you should remember $100 or more. So anything under $100, for example, this hammer would be valued as a non-depreciable asset. It's under $100, and maybe keep it for 5 or 10 years, and so you put a value of a market price on there. So current market value on this particular item. So there you have those type of things that are non-depreciable. They're about the same, and you use it over and over. Over time, you may use that piece of equipment. Then you have another type, which is depreciable assets. Depreciable assets are those that decrease in the value of business, a business asset caused by wear and time. So over time and wear of the equipment, it does get the value does go down, just like anything else, and that's because of the wear and time. And so what happens, you look at what a recovery cost of using up your assets like that, because of that, of depreciable assets. So done over what they call a useful life based on value. And so the ideal is net book value, market value for something. So how you look at that is you determine depreciable charges on your inventory would be, first of all, you have to know the original cost of the item. And then you have to choose a depreciable method, which we'll be using straight line method here for everything that we do here. And then you come up with a salvage value, which means at the end of the time, that's the salvage, that's how much you want from that item if you were to sell it. Okay. So the straight line depreciation method is the method we'll use for this class and for all calculations, because it's a very simple, straightforward method without not too much complication behind it. Basically, equal amounts of depreciation is taken off each year over the life of the asset. Well, so you set your formula up like this: the original cost of the asset, so whatever that is, minus the salvage value that you determine that you want to get for it at the end of its life, and then you decide how long you plan to have a useful life of that. So let's take, for example, we have a piece of equipment that's $20,000, and we want a salvage value from it, so minus 2,000 to 20, we come up with $18,000. Well, we divide that by 5 because we determined that 5 years will be the useful life of this piece of equipment. So that means that each year that will depreciate by $3,600 per year. And of course, you would take that off the taxes so that you're not charged the whole year for that particular item at that high rate, because depreciation knocks it down. Here's a chart that kind of knocks it down pretty easy for you. Basically, you figure out what the depreciation is, you divide it out over the 5 years. Each year there, depreciation per month is $3,600, per year is $3,600. And so over the course of the time, it would depreciate over $18,000, which you would have a $2,000 left over for salvage value in that 5 years. And at that end of that 5 years, you would determine that you would trade it in or sell it, and you would get at least that salvage value for it. The other types, which we're not going to make you know too much, except just knowing there are two other types. One is accelerated cost recovery system. That usually means that you pour up most of the depreciation in the early years. Some businesses prefer to do that way, but we won't be working with anything like that here. And then the other one is modified accelerated cost recovery system, which basically the costs recover over maybe 3, 5, 20, you can see on the board here, 27.5, 31.5 year periods, depending on the type of property, the status, the type of property that you're involved with. It could be, like for example, a greenhouse would fall. Maybe we'd find out we better do it that way than the way we had. But for our purposes here, we'll be using the straight line method. And you should know that formula, write that formula down, because you will be using it to do some problems. Okay? And that's the end of inventory, and the basics of inventory. Okay, well, good luck, and we'll talk to you next time.